What's in the garage, you wonder?
Is that where you need to work today?
No, that's where I put my donations.
Today we're at my friend Janeen's house. We're going to be helping her with some maintenance decluttering. So Janeen, what are some problem areas we're going to be tackling?
Well, I don't know. I sort of go through room by room with my basket and try to get rid of stuff. And I try to look at everything and say, do I want this in my house? And one thing I do is I take a picture of my house. And then I pretend that I'm somebody else in a magazine, looking at the magazine page and saying, why does she have so many Rubik's Cubes?
That's actually a really great strategy. Yeah, and I've done that
It works
myself.
really well.
Yeah, in the past.
I think you probably told me that. Anyway, I do it dutifully. And
because taking the photo or taking a video or whatever helps you be able to see where the clutter blindness spots are.
And they say that's true with, like if you're just redecorating or something, you look at it and say, no, those lamps don't look good together. Now that I look at them, they don't, do they? Anyway.
So one of the things you did mention to me before I arrived was items that are not quite good enough to donate, but they're not quite garbage.
Yeah, it's the lovely box that something came in. There's the little gift that came along with the purchase. The little necklace that for some reason, unbeknownst to God or man, got sent along with it because it's supposed to make you happy. All those goofy little things, the gift wrapping. Somebody gives you a lovely, lovely gift wrapped thing, and you don't really want to open it and throw it in the garbage because it just seems like a mean thing to do. But then, you don't want to keep it.
Yeah, so I think we've discovered over time working together that you really thrive with having a declutter buddy with you or a body double.
Yes.
And so I feel like you have a ton of experience with being able to declutter in your home. And then when you hit a roadblock, it's super helpful for you to have somebody come in and just be
a cattle prod.
Yeah.
A cattle prod.
And just help out and get the items out, because I know that that's something you've struggled with in the past.
Getting them out.
Getting them all the way out. So you do have your donation station in the garage.
Yes, and it can stay there until I die. So we don't want that to happen because my garage is getting full.
Okay. But, I come by or friends come by. I take your donations away, or friends come by and they pull from that donation station if there's something that they want. So today I'm basically just here to be your declutter buddy. So we're going to tackle those problem areas and see what happens.
Okay. The basement is empty.
Okay, good.
The garage is accumulating stuff. I'm trying the 1 in, 2 out policy.
That's good. Because 1 in, 1 out, a lot of people believe in the 1 in, 1 out, and it's great for maintenance, but it doesn't help you reduce.
Right.
So if you're in a reduction stage of life where you're trying to reduce the inventory, if you buy something, you really need to think about what multiple things can leave, not just one.
I had a friend this morning say, I said I was doing some decluttering, and she said, what do you have to declutter? And I thought, well, really, about 50% of the things I own serve no useful purpose. Well, so some of them are paintings on the wall, they're not in the way. I like them well enough, they're decor things, but then I don't need to get another decor thing.
So it's not only about, living with the least number of things possible or going to an extreme, especially if that's not, because obviously you do enjoy, art and things like that. Even if something's not useful per se, if you love it or it brings you happiness or joy, then you should keep it. So I'm not really a proponent of emptying the whole house, unless that's what the person is looking for.
Yes, I have a friend who has pretty much, he can count the 35 things in his house that you can see coming in the door. And I know that's true because I've tried counting them.
Well, and it's personal preference, right?
Yes, his
but it's not for
clutter
everybody.
Threshold is scary.
Yeah.
I'm sort of middle of the road.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. Everyone's clutter threshold is different. So some people, some people lean towards maximalism and they love it, and kudos to them. And then others are leaning more towards, they own 35 things and their house is very, tidy and immaculate, and whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you.
Yes, I think my main benefit is probably that I'm extremely lazy and I don't want to bother dusting and cleaning around a whole lot of things. I want it to be easy.
Yeah, I hear you. No, honestly, the dust thing is definitely something that I think about. Even when I used to love to just go and, shop around at the artisan markets and things like that, just because it's cute. It's cute. I'm buying it. I'm bringing it home. I love it. It sparks joy. But now my question when I'm shopping is, do I want to dust this item? Because, every little thing we bring into our home is something we have to take care of, whether it's a really good box or a gift with purchase or any of those things. It's something you need to store, take care of, and it adds up quick.
And that's what my dear husband used to say. Where are you going to put it? What are you going to do with it? Why do you want it in the house? He was a lovely man, he really was. But if I'd listened to him from the first day I met him, I would have a lot more money and a lot less junk.
He was a very wise man.
He was that. Ignored but wise. So now I'm listening to him in my head. So there we are, yeah. I do have, I find it useful to have a clutter buddy sometimes if I'm in the mood. And I will FaceTime a friend who will also say, oh my gosh, you're right, I've got tons of stuff here. And we will declutter our kitchens together or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome. So live decluttering. I love that idea. That's a good thing to do, Janine.
A lot of young people tell me that they also have a cleaning buddy.
Yes. Yeah. Because body doubling.
Yeah.
Even so, whether it's your partner or a friend, one of the jokes I've had recently is, as a mom, why do I go over to another mom's house and we sit and chat? We could be chatting and doing something together to help her day, right? Like I don't mind washing my best friend's dishes or what have you, right? So,
well, that's good to know.
Do you have dishes you need doing? But honestly, right? Like, I think we need to rethink how we spend time together because you and I have spent a lot of time, many hours over the last few years together, decluttering and doing things like that. And that's time that I've enjoyed, even though we're doing a job that some people would find unappealing. Okay, Siri, are you going to help us declutter?
She loves decluttering.
Siri has been a little helper throughout this process, for sure.
She has.
She brings the cuteness factor. She doesn't do much heavy lifting.
I thought you told me I did that. And I don't do much heavy lifting either. So there we are.
You
Siri
bring the cuteness factor as well.
So I think what we'll do is I will trot you through my house and we will demo. Or I'll just tell you what I got accomplished more or less in the last few days. And then you can say, yeah, but what about this dang thing?
Okay. Sounds good. Let's go.
Okay.
Come on, Siri. Okay, so what about this room is speaking cluttered to you?
The top of the desk.
Okay. So you're finding that the surfaces are collecting papers and clutter.
Yes. And I hear this, for instance, this gave me a bit of a problem this morning because I decluttered a thing, but these are the keys to the house.
Okay.
The lock is no longer here.
Okay, so that can go.
That can go.
Do these need to be given to your landlord? Or should we?
The entire lock is gone.
Oh, okay, so these can just be.
This is my backup mail key.
Okay, so keys, yeah, that's an easy go. Keys to a lock that no longer exists is an easy go.
It's junk. Okay, yeah. I don't believe I have that anymore.
Okay. Actually, it's interesting. A lot of people keep.
I don't believe I have that anymore.
Okay, I know you don't have these anymore because we've already decluttered these.
Yes.
But a lot of people keep manuals, paper manuals, and they're online usually, so you can often declutter those.
100% online, and so what I do with my old people is I say, because I used to have these big books, and when I bought something, I'd put the receipt in it, and the manual, and warranty information, and all that sort of stuff. And then at some point, I realized that I didn't need any of that. I was fairly proud of myself. I threw away like old university degrees.
Okay, so is this shredding? What is this pile? Oh, you've got a shredder. Perfect.
Oh, yes.
Okay, one purchase I do recommend people have is a shredder because it's worth its weight in gold just to be able to keep on top of the paper clutter.
Now here I've got 8 attendance sheets that theoretically I'm supposed to be using for a course that I taught in July. These things actually are from the course.
Okay, so those are course materials you need to file.
And
So basically what I think is happening is that you have this big, beautiful desk, which you definitely need because you do your computer work and things. But big surfaces attract clutter. That's
Yeah.
just a fact.
And the other thing is, there was this whole thing about, are you a piler or a filer?
Yes, piler or filer.
And I'm definitely a piler. Let's donate this.
Okay.
Um,
A poetry book. Was this mostly a decor item? Or were you actually, this is our little
that
decluttering
was
pile
a
here.
decor item. A friend who would watch this gave me these things because he thought they would be useful. They're not useful.
iPhone Guideline Magazine. Is that what this is? Okay. No, we can donate those or
Yeah.
recycle.
I think you can actually donate them because some old people might assume that that's the thing to do.
So right now we're in your office and that is your closet. This was originally a bedroom and this closet you've turned into basically kind of a supply closet.
Yeah.
So you're just taking a quick look to see if there's anything else that can go. We've already cleaned up and decluttered that area, but there's always a few things that you can take a look at and see.
Yes, there are.
And our wonderful Siri is trotting around in the background if you can hear her.
I have 500 business cards. I usually use 1 or 2 or 3 a year. That's this bin is for all the tech waste.
Okay, so you've been keeping your cords and things in this bin. Okay, so you know
Yeah.
where they are. That's good. Print your paper.
This is the heavy-duty stuff, the card stock. Do you have any use for it?
I don't think so, but I could ask if one of the Girl Guide leaders wants it or...
Yeah, that might be a thought.
Okay.
At least I know where everything goes. Just throw this stuff away. For heaven's sake, what are you doing? Just drive myself
Well,
crazy.
it's amazing how sometimes just packaging and papers can accumulate in these
Yes.
bins.
And I need packaging and papers like a hole in the head. This is apparently to lock your luggage. I don't ever go anywhere.
Do you have luggage?
I do have luggage, but I don't go anywhere. Now, I could do several things here. One is, there are some of these things that I could put in a downstairs closet, like printer cartridges and stuff like that. I don't know.
Well, I think you should keep the supplies close to where you need them.
Okay.
I think you have the space here. It's okay to keep those cartridges there unless you desperately want them in the basement.
Will I ever in my life wear an apron. You always get a bag at the grocery store, so you always have a bag. And now I'm keeping this kind of little baggie.
Yes, that is the issue with the no plastic bags anymore, is that now we have a bunch of these type of recycled bags.
So I tend to put things in it and give it to people.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Then their problem is what to do with it next. But then if somebody gives me a bag of stuff, then I save the bag and we rotate them around.
Yeah, so the other thing I
community.
do with those bags is I use them for donations. So you can,
Good idea.
yeah.
I'd have trouble getting 5. I don't.
Yeah, so the 5 items a day, I feel like it's great for beginners. It's also great for people that are just in maintenance mode like you. But
What are these things?
those are USBs. You don't want any of these USBs?
Why would I have them? There might be stuff on them, but I'm sure it's not valuable stuff.
Okay. But this is the point, right? Like in 5 minutes, you just did a quick pass. You didn't make a mess. You just picked at the different bins and drawers and things. And it's amazing how much it can add up.
For sure. But there's a certain amount of, I don't know what this stuff is. I'm assuming this is a dog chain.
I think knowing where everything belongs and knowing that everything has a home really makes a big difference in keeping things tidy.
Dana K. White.
Yes,
says,
love her.
If I were looking for this, where would I look first? And I absolutely count on where I put things where I'd look first.
Yeah, I think that makes total sense.
And it has saved me because I actually have been looking for something and I thought, where would I look first? I go there and lo and behold, there it is.
What are people talking about with regard to those boxes?
I am told by my friend Margie that if you save the boxes and for your iPad and your Apple Pencil and your Magic Keyboard and stuff, and when you go to sell them, it is sort of nice, and you can actually get more money for these things if you have the boxes. And the boxes are lovely. My problem with lovely boxes, but my habit is that people will follow me around asking me when I'm going to trade up, because I tend to be a fast flipper, and so my phone is already sold to the next person, and that'll be next year.
Yeah, you're very in tune with what's happening with tech. So you're a frequent consumer of tech, for example.
And cars and just everything. So that being the case, I don't really think I need to keep these.
Yeah, so I think this is definitely a personal preference. If you know your experiences and that you typically sell or give to somebody you know, then you don't really need to keep the box. If you're somebody that resells on Facebook Marketplace or somewhere like that, it would probably make sense to keep the box. However, if you were doing that, this is a case where I would hide these away in the basement closet or something like that, not in your office in the way.
Get them out of my way.
But that makes a beautiful parcel to go.
It does make a lovely little parcel to go, and it cleans things up a little bit. Do you have a sewing room? Do you have a sewing machine?
I think we decluttered our sewing machine.
Very good. This is mine. I'm pretty sure it's one of no, this is an empty one. And so if ever I should have to, yes, there it is. It's a mess.
We do have like a little sewing kit, just similar in size for, hemming or what have you.
And I know where it is.
Yes.
Which is important because, once annually I will lose a button and have to care. So, I wonder why I have this. Oh, undigitized photos. Why did I not digitize? I'm sure I did. I can redigitize. Photo mine. I will do that now that I've realized that it's here. If you hadn't shown up, I would never have known. I have no idea what's in those two magazine holder things.
Okay, so you have your handy labels here so these are, and I think you had wanted to keep these are manuals for your appliances.
Which appliances?
Danby, owner's manual, refrigerator. Do you still have
When
that
did I get
fridge?
that? I was trying to remember that just the
This
other
is
day.
2023.
Oh my. I'm sure it is online, but I should possibly take a picture of the receipt so that I have a verification of when I bought it.
Yeah, it is handy to keep that sort of thing. So I'll pull this out so you can do that.
Okay, we'll do that.
And
We'll
then
do
now
that
we have an empty magazine
digitally.
holder.
So
Yeah,
now,
digitize anything you
yeah.
can. Okay, some of these,
Oh, let's throw those out. Let's give them to somebody that might want to
magazine.
read about
Okay.
cashew chicken. Yep, no.
Okay, and then there's also some personal papers on here. I'm not gonna show on the video. I'll just bring the thing over to you.
And I will do some shredding because obviously that's not a useful device for me to
It's
use.
because you're a visual person.
Yeah.
You're not looking at what's in there.
And they weren't really manuals, and if I had a manual, I wouldn't have thought to put them
Yeah,
there.
so one of the other things we're decluttering right now are some old calendars that she had in here. So that's great. We've actually getting quite the pile here. And then Janeen said that she's not finding these magazine holders helpful, so we're going to declutter those as well.
I think that was an impulse buy at IKEA. What's in the bottom basket?
There's paper in here and your laminator.
Okay.
Do you use your laminator? I think so for your charity stuff.
I have used my laminator, so I suppose I will keep that. And paper and the lamination.
And this bin is easy to see into.
That's the cardstock stuff.
So
if any of the scout leaders want that, they're
Okay, I can take the cardstock off your hands if you like, and then you can see your laminator. Yeah. A word about organization items. They are often impulse purchases.
yes, they are
people,
because your fantasy self
yes,
is going to use it.
and people get overwhelmed with their clutter, and their first instinct is to go out and buy organization items, when the first thing you need to do is get rid of as much as you can and then figure out what organization style works for you. So these are not working for you. These can go.
The baskets in the closet work great.
Yes, these I think you can see into. That's a little bit better. So it's clear that these are your vacuum pieces. You got your laminator. This is your mailing stuff. You've got your extra bags and then some printer cartridges and some tissue paper.
I should have a wrapping room, shouldn't I? But I don't wrap anything. What gifts did I give for Christmas? None.
Okay. Oh, you have a lot of hooks over here.
Uh-oh.
Do you still want all of these command hooks?
Well, command hooks are actually,
You want those,
I do
okay.
use those. That's my command hook department.
And then in this one you have, I don't know what, like USB plug-in type things.
That looks an awful lot like tech waste.
Tech waste? Okay. So is this e-waste? Do you want me to take it to be donated to the e-waste stuff? Okay.
Since I notice you're going anyway.
I did notice you have this one that's covered, and then this one that's sticky. I'm not sure if these are the same thing.
And this one now is stuck on there, so I think I'll just leave it there for a while.
Do you want to keep both of these?
Maybe.
So I'll put this other one in here so it doesn't get lost.
Well, it's looking a lot better. There is a guest book for Airbnb.
Oh, okay. You want that gone?
I don't particularly need it. Is there anything heartrending in there?
It would be up to you so you've got some notes 2020.
I will never look at that again. That's just
You don't want to read this again? Okay, that can go.
lovely thought, but no. I'm getting more appreciative of nothings,
Empty space, yeah.
empty spaces.
When you have some white space, it does definitely help you appreciate the things that you've chosen to keep a lot
Yes.
more because you can actually see them and enjoy them. I think we're good for this area until you hear from your accountant
Yeah.
to confirm that you can get rid of those tax documents. What time is it?
It's 2:30.
So we've been in here for like, what, 20 minutes or so, and look at all of the stuff you've got on the way out. I'm actually honestly shocked because,
You thought we were done?
well, it looks, like decluttering is never done, but it looks so tidy in here. But it's amazing how fast hidden clutter also can
Yes.
accumulate. So I
I
can help you
discovered
get
this
this
when I
out.
moved when I moved from one apartment to the other, and I thought I had nothing, and I was like 22, and I had nothing, a lot of books, and then when you move, it's carload after carload after carload of stuff.
Yeah. So Janeen and I were in her office for about 20 minutes, and these are all of the items that she's decluttering.
I'm tickled. I can't believe that I was hanging on to
Old
old
calendars.
calendars.
So Janeen, we did 20 minutes in your office. We were able to get together 2 little boxes and and a little garbage can of junk to go. How are you feeling about the space now?
Oh, much better, ever so much better. I could actually be productive here. I had things that when I have some things that whenever I look at them, I think, meh, there it is, and it's there.
Were you surprised we were able to find that much considering we've gone over this space before?
And considering that I went over the space yesterday, yes, yes, I was particularly surprised by the fact that I'd gone over it yesterday, and I looked at it enough to whine to you about it, but not enough to do anything actively moving forwardly with it.
Well, as I said, some people, and I think most people, work well with a declutter buddies. But we are closing the loop on this space for now. There's always more maintenance decluttering in the future.
Yes, indeed. I'm already questioning my need for having 1, 2, 3, 4 multi-cube Rubik's cubes. That is the result of a fear of having them fall apart, and they're a real bugger to put back together when they fall apart, by the way.
Ooh.
Yes, it's hard. It's a full day's job to get one of those big ones back together if it's flipped out a bunch of cubes.
But for now, we're calling this space complete until the next time.
Complete until the next time.
Until our next declutter in here.
Yay. Actually, I quite like this room, now that we mention it. And I know where everything is. Ta-da.
Moving on. Okay, so Janeen's inspired and she's moving on to checking her linen closet area here.
Which dry skin repair should not be in.
And she has a mystery item here that she doesn't know what it is. Oh, odor removing spray, plant-based. Did you order this? Must be for Siri. Or did somebody give it to you?
It sounds like something that would be a thought for dog beds and things.
Okay.
So maybe put it with the urine erase.
Oh, you've got urine erase. Okay. Urine erase.
Urine
Perfect.
erase. Somebody was thinking that day. They were giving that some thought, weren't they? Urine stain. Oh, before you begin removing urine stains, we need that.
Okay.
Spot shot. squirt and mop. Now this actually is the cleanup basket. So if you're cleaning the house, you go from pillar to post. But I think my person who does that doesn't use it, because normally I would have this sort of stuff there, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, she can do it however she wants to do it.
So you have
Love
a
her.
person that comes to help you, and so these are basically items for her to use.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's cleaning the dentures. What would this be for?
I think that's for grout cleaning, maybe.
Oh, grout. Yes. Sorry. Dentures, grout, same thing. Ooh, I found this. Goody. It's going downstairs. Yay.
What is that?
It's a duvet cover.
Okay. Why do you have perfume with your cleaning supplies, though?
I just picked that up from Heather and Jan here, and I was going to put it in the garbage.
Oh, okay. So that's a go.
It's a go. So this is laundry detergent, and that goes, I'll put this in actual garbage. Everyone should have a Total washlet. Looked at my shoes. These were to go. This is a glove form.
Is it something you want to keep, or is it decorative? Do you love it? Do you need it?
This is go away, this is put away. So basically in here, I've got everything categorized. Okay, so taking a leaf out of my beloved husband's book, he always had underwear, top, bottoms. If something started to get fadey, he'd throw them all away and get a full set of 10 more. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of basically did that. I had my picture taken for the paper one day and was teased by friends who said that my clothes were big and baggy. So I did donate all of my old jeans, all of my old black turtlenecks, which is what I wear. That stage that I thought they were very comfortable. But then I also had a full collection of socks, and I always wear the same socks, so I don't have to put them together because it makes it easier for laundry. I just throw them in the basket. And so all those socks went to donation. These are all the new ones.
You've basically created a uniform for yourself.
Yeah, I'm very capsule. This is the summer, and it doesn't make any sense. Summer tops, summer bottoms, for funerals and dressy things. A few options for funerals and dressy things. And then I have too many pairs of jeans. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't need 6, but I have them and they all fit, so I'm keeping them.
As you can and should if you want to. Were some of those items in the closets downstairs,
Yeah.
and you brought them up? Okay, good.
The downstairs is empty now.
Once you've decided, because you had 3 closets, and I
Yeah.
think one was to give to friends, one was things that you're going to wear occasionally,
Yeah.
and then the third closet was...
It was tech stuff, I think.
Tech stuff, okay.
And so the tech stuff I gave away, a projector and stuff like that. And anything that I hadn't worn since I moved to this house was donated, and anything else that I wore maybe once, this one's not bad, I brought up here. I'm not entirely sure how I can explain the IKEA bears.
What you were originally doing with your clothing when you had it in the basement was you sort of had it on quarantine to see if you were going to wear it and that sort of thing. And now you know these are the few pieces that are special occasion that you love, and you brought them up, and so now they're easy to access.
Yeah.
Because I do think that it is important to not just hide things away in the basement, to have easy access.
Because I do have friends who have many outfits, and they love to dress, and they love to get up in the morning and decide what outfit they're going to wear for the day and stuff. I'm too lazy for that. I just put on a turtleneck, pair of jeans, and let the dog out. And there are very few places I go that I don't consider that fancy enough, but if necessary, I will put on lipstick and a necklace, and I figure that I'm just a knockout.
Yeah, and you are. And clothing, fashion, that's definitely something that somebody's either really into or maybe that's just
Yeah.
not on their priority list, and that's totally fair.
Kitchen stuff and tech stuff, I'm absolutely awful about, but clothing and beauty products. I've got more moisturizers. I've never used a moisturizer. I've intended to use a moisturizer. My fantasy self in the store has gotten many moisturizers. I still have too many moisturizers.
But
I may be moist enough.
although you have
That's disgusting.
So although you have actually a little bedroom dedicated to your capsule wardrobe, it is very organized. There's actually minimal items here, so it's not a jam-packed room, and it's all very curated and careful in what you've chosen to keep.
And I do like being a piler rather than a filer. If something were in a drawer, if I had a chest of drawers with things in it, I would never know what was there.
Well, this works perfectly for you as a visual person. You can see exactly where everything is and you can see what you have. So this actually is a genius solution for you.
And I always do have the donation box, which is that one down there, because my rule for life has always been, if you're going someplace and you try something on, you decide not to wear it, it must go immediately into donation because you will never wear it. If not today, never.
Yeah, exactly. If it doesn't feel great when you put it on, if you keep putting it on and taking it off and putting it back away, that's a sure sign you don't actually love it.
That's a sure sign that you spent too much money on it. You shouldn't have bought it in the first place. It's not doing anybody any good.
Yeah, so that can be a donation to somebody who's actually going to wear it.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Well, I think this space looks good, and you did find a couple of things, so that's good.
Yep.
And off we go. Okay, so Janeen, you've been decluttering for actually a couple of years now. You did some major decluttering. Today we did a little bit of maintenance decluttering, some quick kind of no mess decluttering. What would you say has been the ultimate value in decluttering and getting rid of all that junk?
I have better habits. It's easier to have better habits if you don't have junk around.
Yeah.
And the battle is constant with the dining room table because that's the landing pad here. And so now I'm getting good at clearing that every day.
Yes. So the simplified spaces and simplified home has made it so that you're better able to keep on top of the mess, keep on top of good, effective habits. Would you say to somebody else that whether they're a senior or otherwise, that there's benefits or value to decluttering their home?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's the best thing I ever did. And also, I'm told by some other people that they hesitate to have people stop in. And since I'm here alone, I love it when people stop in. And I love not having to wonder whether the house is a mess when they stop in.
Yeah, so
my hair might be a mess, but the house is always good enough to come on in.
And I think that's really important for whether you live alone or whether you have a family or what have you. If friends and family are in the neighborhood, you're hoping that they will come and spend some time with you. But I know that you're not the only person that has had a barrier with worrying about the mess.
Yeah,
So
and especially those tidy friends. You know, you have the tidy friends. And the tidy friends are really very forgiving. They don't care about your mess. They're just happy that you have it and they don't. I could become one of the tidy friends.
I think you are one of the tidy friends now. Yeah, I think that having a simplified space, especially for me too, has made it easier for me to maintain my house and not worry about somebody coming to knock on the door.
Yeah.
Because that's stressful if you're always worrying about the clutter and the mess. And when you get rid of all the junk on a regular basis, that definitely helps.
Yes, it does. Maybe it is my fantasy self. Maybe I'm my fantasy me now.
You have made a ton of progress. You should be very proud of yourself, and while still maintaining what I would think is a cozy and welcoming home.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yes, I'm sort of in the middle. I'm not a minimalist, but I don't like to have stacks of things around. And I always do save if I get things delivered and they have a fairly good sized box, I always save it for my donations.
Good. So what are your thoughts for people that are nervous to start decluttering, don't know where to start, are afraid of the process? What would you say to them?
I would say if you have a friend or relative who is willing to help, it's extremely helpful to have somebody else in the project with you. Because otherwise, especially as you get older, it's a lot of work. It's kind of heavy. You've got boxes of stuff. You don't know what to do with them. So if there is somebody who does decluttering in your neck of the woods, I would give them a call because they know things, like they know where to take different kinds of clutter and where to donate things. And that's a whole nother part of the project that I was happy not to do.
Yeah, so I've definitely played a role in making sure the clutter. You've definitely been involved in the actual process, but the part where it's the clutter goes away and disappears, I've been helping you with that part of it.
That's the magical part, because I think that's what slows a lot of people down. That they'll get it to the garage or they'll get it to the car, and then it becomes another problem. So the magical clutter fairy coming along and dispersing this stuff into the world is pretty wonderful. Because there are steps. You know, one of the steps is, you know, getting started, doing the decluttering, putting it into some sort of a container, getting the container off your property, and you know, sometimes it's sort of hard to believe that anybody would want any of this. And then you take this stuff, because sometimes I take stuff, and they say, "Oh, thank you so much," and you think, "Well, thank you."
It's a win-win for sure.
It is, yeah.
You get the clutter out, and somebody else who actually wants the item gets to use it.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you're decluttering today. And maybe it's lots and it should be.